Has anyone here ever written command line scripts with Node.js? Yeah? So have I, and they're a right pain in the arse to do. Because you have to use this thing, readline, right? Those of you who don't know about this, check it out, readline. It allows you to write command line scripts. And the reason why it's cool to do this instead of things like bash scripts is you write them as Node.js scripts, and they'll run in any platform. So they'll run on OS X and Windows as well as Linux, so you just write the one thing. So I've been working on some scripts for installer scripts for the stuff I talked about last month. And the trouble with this stuff is that it's asynchronous, which is fine if you ask one question, but as soon as you ask multiple questions, you know, you're into callback hell and figuring out how to do this, and particularly if someone makes a mistake and you know that you've got to validate it, and you say, well, I want to ask the question again. And I was just getting sick of this. And what I wanted to share with you is something I literally discovered yesterday, which is why I wanted to do this, why I suggested this to Adam, and that is this guy. Does anyone know about this? Readline sync. It's bloody marvelous, fantastic. Yes. Now I can write sensible command line scripts, which if you think about it, when you're running a command line script, you're the only guy on the process, right? You know, concurrency isn't an issue on this. So why are you writing asynchronous? And synchronous is so much easier for this. And the guy, I don't know who's written this, but he's a genius, because he's done things like, it's not just a simple question that you can ask. He's written all these things for email addresses and passwords and file names and file paths, and they're all like built in and they just work. And so let me see if I can show you one running here. Oh great, it's all resized. This is a script I've been writing. So here I am, I'm requiring readline sync, and I'm asking for a file name. And I say it's a file name, you can ask for directories, directory paths or files. So this is question path, and this exists as false. This will say that the file mustn't exist, right? And down here, I'm asking for a password, so I use question new password. And I want to have a default for it and so on. I just want a simple question here. I want to ask for an integer, a port number, right? And again here, and this, look at this, this is a list. So I want key select, so it'll use this object, right? So let me run this guy. So I'll run builder. So it's asking for the file name. If I put in one that exists, then it'll say already exists, and it'll just keep asking the question. So I've got to say one that doesn't exist. Now it'll ask me for a password. And if I put in something else, you know, that's all built in. It's fantastic. It's just marvelous. So, yeah. Now I get through to the, bollocks. You get the idea. The trouble with the checkbox, this guy is you can't even break it. You can't control C it. What do I do? What do I do?
The very first password you typed.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, yeah.
It was all going so well. Oh, for fuck's sake. I can't remember. Anyway, check this out. Readline sync. Just don't enter passwords. That's it. That's it.